Hey guys, today on Cooner DIY, we're going to be jumping back into the Mustang and we're going to be bleeding the brakes on it. Let's get to it. Okay guys, so we're going to get into bleeding the brakes here. Now, the best way to bleed the brakes on any car is you're usually going to want to have someone in the car pressing down the brake pedal while you're bleeding it from underneath of it and filling up the fluid and keeping an eye on it. Since I don't really have anyone to help me out today, I went to the auto store and I picked up this little brake bleeder kit. It is part number W80625. It's just a generic one that I found at the local auto store here. So we're gonna give it a shot. Supposedly you can go on ahead and just hook this up to your bleeder screw, and it has a little magnet. You can mount it underneath the car while you're down there, and then supposedly you can just bleed it with one person. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know if it worked out pretty good, or if I ended up having to get someone to help me out with this. So let's get to it. Okay, so before we get to this, so I got everything out right here. So here's the main cap that goes on top of the bottle. It's got a hose that goes all the way down into the bottom of it, and that way, my assumption is when you're bleeding it, that way it doesn't suck air back up into the system. It'll pull from some fluid in there, and then we got this hose coming off that'll attach to the car right here. It's got these universal fittings that came with it right here, which, to be honest, I'm really not sure if I'm even going to use these. We'll see when we get under there. So yeah, let's give it a shot and see how it goes. Okay, now when we bleed the brakes on any car, we usually want to start at the furthest wheel away from the master cylinder. So since the master cylinder is on the driver's side underneath the hood, we're going to start on the back passenger side, and then we're going to move over to the driver's side rear, and then from there you would move to the passenger side, and then you would move to the driver's side last. I bled it before I redid the drum brakes in the rear, so I think the fronts should be okay. So right now I'm just going to try and bleed the rear ones and see how it is. If it needs to be bled more, then I'll move to the front and do that right there. But for right now, I'm just going to try and do the rear brakes and see how it does. Okay, so first we're going to loosen this bleeder screw right here, and we're going to use a 3/8 socket to do that. You can also use a wrench. I've got a socket here, so get that at least broken loose here. There we go. It's broken loose. Now we can go on ahead and see if this hose looks a little bit small that they provided with the kit, so yeah, we'll have to use one of their adapters for it. So their adapters, they give us these right here, so we'll see how well that'll work here. Let's see. Alright, I think that would be pretty good. We'll use this one right here. So I've got that set up there. The bleeder valve is open, so now I'm going to go on ahead and try and bleed it. Okay, before I get started here, one thing that I've seen on other videos and other things right here is with these types of self-bleeding kits right here, you want to have a little bit of brake fluid in here. So if it does suck up anything, it's just sucking up brake fluid and not air, from my understanding. I'm not really sure. This is my first time doing it like this, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so we got some fresh brake fluid in there, and make sure that's loosened a little bit, and everything looks alright. Alright, so let's give it a shot and see how it works. So far, it looks okay, I think. We'll do a couple more pumps and then we'll check it. So from my understanding, once we don't see any more air in the line right here, we should be good, which I don't see any air in the line. So I'm gonna close this up. And it looks like that should be it for this side. That looks pretty good. Now we'll go on ahead and button this up and we'll go to the other side. Okay. That's good. Now, what we want to do is we want to check the level to see how much fluid we have in here before bleeding anymore. Alright, so it's pulling it from the front reservoir right here, so we're going to need to add a little bit more fluid to that. Okay, we're gonna try and bleed it just a little bit more, and then I think we'll call it good, and we'll test it out and see how it is. Alright guys, I think that'll do it. Let's tighten this up and we'll check it and make sure we got more brake fluid in the reservoir, and we'll take it for a little spin, see how it goes. Alright, so that's all there is for bleeding the brakes on the 66 Mustang. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. And we'll see you on the next project. Thanks.